Just taking care of a few details. This is pretty much ready to go. I did it all offline or off camera, but I do have an image of this bottom here. I spotted this all in, got the column perpendicular and whatnot. This is not required to be a bearing surface, just matches with the base. But going through the casting and just filing some of these openings. No, it's not done with great detail when you mass produce, but prior to painting stuff, you might as well touch up some edges so somebody's got a hand in there. It's gonna hurt. So now that I've got the column straightened up and looking good, the next thing I want to do is I want to qualify just noticed something on this dowel. I have to check that out when I get it out. So the next thing I want to qualify, and although it's not probably necessary, but I do want to do it, is that this plane, this is the mount for the column. So I want this and this pad here for the screw. I want to make sure they're on the same plane. And again, this is just a machine mating surface, so it's not a bearing surface, so it won't be a lot of work. But I do want to make sure that I can spot this and make sure it looks good. And in order to do that, I got to get the dowels out, and I don't have a dowel puller. So what I thought I would do, I'm going to use a 5C collet block, piece out of this is came in a purchase at some point, but this is a for a stop inside the collet, and I do have some slide hammers and stuff around for pulling threaded dowels, but not blind dowels. So that's going to be my next little test. See what we can do with that. No dowel. I just hand tightened. I didn't want to put anything on this. This is obviously a machine surface or ground surface, and I don't want to ruin this, so I gotta figure out a way to hold this and get the collar tight. So that's good and tight now. Make sure we got lots of thread in there. And let's see. Sounds better. I don't know if it moved or not. Take 3. I need a bit more tightness, tension. Still no dowel. My last try today. I'm not giving up, but that's it for today. The first, upon closer inspection, the first time I had looked down on the bottom, it looked as if they were blind holes, those dowels. And I had since cleaned this bottom, didn't really look for it, but after not being able to get that dowel out, I had a second look, and yeah, it's a through hole. And a heck of a pin. Holy smokes. So there's always an explanation. It's a tapered pin, and it was actually in this orientation, so I actually pushed it through the wrong way. Hopefully, looks like I can put it back in from the bottom. It's not, oh, it's got these marks on, or almost like it was, it's 3 marks at 120 degrees. Almost like it was crimped or swaged or something to make that groove and to create a taper. Anyways, they're going to go back in from the bottom side. So that is the first spotting, and I had just run a stone across that surface, but I had quite a bit of blue on the surface plate. We got a low spot here, but like I said, I got a lot of blue on the plate. I want to I'm going to take a little bit off, smooth it out, get a little bit finer film, and just see what it looks like. See if it repeats this pattern. Just a touch less blue on the plate, and a very similar pattern with this corner here showing up light, but now this one's starting to lighten up a bit, so I'm going to pull some more blue off of the surface plate and see what happens here. It's looking decent anyways. It's not twisted or anything like that from what it appears so far. So I got a little bit of exposure and light problem, but the surface now, I don't know, I think I spent 45 minutes or so, but plenty good for its function at this point. Everything is flat, including the boss here for the screw, which is good. That's what I wanted, all this in a plane. So now with this flat, I can mount the column and interrogate how perpendicular the column is to this surface here, because I haven't yet scraped or checked the bottom of the column. I've done the spindle head mounting surface to the column ways, which is good, but now I'll be able to check basically the parallelism between the spindle head and the bottom of the column. So that'll be next. So the column now is mounted on the base, and that feels really good. That contact, even though the bottom of the column is not yet scraped, it still feels like good contact there. And then, but you can see using using the elevating screw surface here, which is now in place. I hate when that happens. So it's in plane with the rest of the base. So we would want this column to be perpendicular to that. And I think you can see, yeah, you can see it up here where the column is tipped back. And so my thoughts on verification of that. Maybe it's a little closer than I first thought. I'm applying quite a bit of pressure down on the square here to make sure it's seated on the elevating screw boss there. And it actually looks a little better. So my plan was to actually flip the column upside down on the spindle mounting face and verify what does the bottom look like as far as parallelism to that spindle mounting face, and then therefore those two become parallel, perpendicular to this, and then it really doesn't matter. You can just drop it onto the flat plane that we've created on this base piece here. Couple of things I wanted to do to this part here. This is the base. It's upside down on the mill, obviously. There was a hole here. It is not threaded. So this is the coolant sump. So I think I'm going to thread that and put a plug in there. And I think that one may be well served as a drain. And there was one up here, which is like underneath of the table in the collection area, underneath of the table and the knee. I'm a little less inclined to leave that one with a plug. I think I may drill it, tap it, put a plug in from this side, and then try and hide it a bit with some Bondo. Yeah, so drill and tapping those.